Hello, everyone, and good evening, and welcome to the official draw of the 2023 edition of this region's most important club competition, the Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League. My name is Ramses Sandoval, and I'll be your host for tonight's event. A special welcome to all participating clubs and their fans who made debut, actually, in this cup this time around, following us live, of course. Tonight is an important night for everyone, as this draw will determine each club's path to the 2023 Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League final and the 2023 FIFA Club World Cup. Before we get started officially, it is my pleasure to introduce CONCACAF General Secretary Philippe Moggio, who will be delivering his welcoming remarks.
Good evening to everyone watching at home, and welcome to the official draw for the region's most important club competition, the Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League. At CONCACAF, we're extremely excited to kick off the 15th edition of this elite club tournament. The 2023 CONCACAF Champions League will be very special for everyone, as it will be the last to take place under the current 16-team format. In 2023 and 2024, the Confederation will launch an entirely new club competitions ecosystem, with regional cup competitions starting in the fall of next year, followed by an expanded 27-club CONCACAF Champions League played in the spring of 2024. These new competitions will transform club football in CONCACAF and elevate leagues and clubs across our region. They will also provide an even more competitive pathway to the FIFA Club World Cup. Going back to this 2023 edition, the last involving 16 clubs, we have participating teams from Canada, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Haiti, Honduras, Mexico, Panama, and the United States, who will all compete for the regional club crown. To those clubs and their fans, I hope that you all enjoy tonight's draw and the entire competition, which starts in March. I also would like to send a special thank you to our partners Scotiabank, Nike, and Qatar Airways for their continued support. And to our 2022 champions, the Seattle Sounders, we look forward to watching you compete in the 2022 FIFA Club World Cup. You made history by becoming the first MLS club to win the Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League under its current format. Your road to a sold-out final was an unforgettable one. So I'd like to leave everyone with this video showcasing the amazing moments from last year's competition. Thank you very much.
Tonight, the Seattle Sounders host Club Leon. In the middle, Roldan crashing in, going to ground, penalty. This in for Montero! Seattle scores again! Vidal Ambris. That could be a crucial goal of this time for the Sounders.
Sounders set to welcome NYCFC. Crossing, header snapped down and played in by New York City. Game right now doesn't feel like we'll finish 1-1. Brought that down well, set back to the penalty spot. Gorgeous finish, Jordan Morris. 2-1 Seattle.
We are ready to crown a champion in Champions League. Bicycle kick from the top of the area, ambitious.
Well, thank you very much to Philip for those opening remarks, and that video is just phenomenal. Goosebumps. Piel chinita, without a doubt, with Seattle earning an unbelievable title in the last Champions League. In 2022, we truly witnessed memorable edition of the Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League, all culminating, as we just saw in that video, with a record-breaking final in Seattle in the Emerald City. Throughout the 4 rounds of the competition, individual performance by key players played an important role in the success of the winners, the Seattle Sounders. The included goalkeeper Stefan Fry, who was named the tournament's best player and best goalkeeper after playing every minute of Seattle's 8 matches and recording 4 clean sheets. And of course, their captain, their capitán, Nicolás "Nico" Lodeiro, who is here tonight to present the winner's trophy. Welcome, Nico. Nico Lodeiro in the house.
Un besito.
Un besito incluido. ¿Cómo está, Nico?
¿Cómo andas, Rancel?
Bien.
Todo bien.
Como acabamos de ver, Nico, momentos increíbles en esa final. ¿Cuál fue tu favorita? As we just saw, Nico, unbelievable moments in that final. What's your favorite?
No, Ramsey, sin duda que el momento cuando termina el partido, el pitazo final, saber que sos campeón en tu casa, con tu gente, con tu hinchada, tu familia, creo que ese es el momento más feliz del torneo.
The special moment for Nico is being able to celebrate it with your family. That's what it comes down to. Once the lights go off, that's a special moment. Nico, Seattle estará en la Copa del Mundo de Clubes de la FIFA, algo formidable. Será el primer equipo de MLS en representar a la MLS. We know that Seattle, Nico, is going to be at the FIFA Club World Cup, which is amazing, being a Major League Soccer site to do that. What does that mean to you?
No, creo que es pues, un honor, un privilegio ser el primer equipo de la MLS, representar en el Mundial de Clubes, sin duda. Es algo que va a quedar marcado para la historia y representa mucho.
Something very special that's going to be there for history, and it certainly will be, as the Seattle Sounders will be the first representative of Major League Soccer to go to this very, very important tournament. Congratulations for that.
Thank you.
Okay. Listen, the 2022 FIFA Club World Cup, as you continue to lead the Sounders, this is going to be an unbelievable moment. It's now time to review the calendar of the 2023 edition. Yes, that's it. As usual, and for the last time prior to the new CONCACAF Champions League 27-club format kicking off in 2024, the tournament is divided into 4 rounds, all with home and away matches. The 2023 Champions League matchups will commence with the round of 16. These series will be played mid-March and will be followed by the quarterfinals in the first 2 weeks of April. The semifinals among the best 4 will take place between April 25th through the 27th and May 2nd through the 4th. And of course, lastly, the home and away final matches where our new champion will be crowned will be disputed on Wednesday, May 31st and on a Sunday, June 4th. Well, knowing the match dates, let's review the list of the 16 participant clubs from 8 CONCACAF member associations. All clubs have qualified through their domestic leagues and cup competition or the 2022 Scotiabank Champions League, CONCACAF League, that is. From North America, the 9 participants are the Vancouver Whitecaps from Canada, Atlas FC, 2-time champion CF Pachuca, Club León, and the 2020 champions Tigres. And the 4 U.S. clubs, Austin FC, LAFC, of course, Los Angeles Football Club, Orlando City Soccer Club, and the Philadelphia Union. From Central America and the Caribbean, the 7 qualified clubs are Alajuelense from Costa Rica, Alianza Lima from El Salvador, 3 Honduran clubs, Olimpia, Motagua, and Real España. Tauro FC will represent Panama, and the Caribbean champion Violet from Haiti. And so after having reviewed the competition's calendar and the list of the 16 participating clubs, it's time to introduce 2 legends from our region who will be assisting with the drawing of teams. Our first guest is a CONCACAF veteran, a member of Pachuca. He won the CONCACAF Champions Cup in 2007 and 2008 with Los Tuzos, and then the Champions League in 2009-2010, while also finishing up as a runner-up twice with Los Tigres in 2015-16, 2016-17. Between both competitions, this man played 40 matches and scored 8 goals. Sensational statistics. Let's welcome none other than Damián Álvarez.
estás? ¿Cómo estás?
Damián, ¿qué significa para ti ser campeón de la CONCACAF y este tipo de torneo? Damián, what does it mean to you to be part of this competition, to win this title? You know the feeling. What does it mean to you?
Bueno, es algo extraordinario, ¿no? Y jugar esta copa y más, te invade muchos recuerdos y más haberla ganado algunas veces, pero es algo extraordinario.
It's extraordinary to play this type of cup, win it obviously a couple of times. It's massive, but just the simple fact to be out on the pitch, it's a special moment. Sueñas por ahí con un Pachuca Tigres en la final. Los dos están en esta edición. Do you, Damián, perhaps dream about a Pachuca Tigres final? They're both in this edition and you played it with both of them. They're both near and dear to your heart.
Sería emocionante volver a ver a estos dos equipos jugar una final. Ya lo fue en el 2017 que se la llevó Pachuca y bueno, sería como una revancha para Tigres y ojalá estos dos equipos muy queridos que vuelvan a enfrentarse.
It could be wonderful, he says. It could be a rematch from the 17 final that, of course, Pachuca took home. So that would be massive for him. Of course, he was transcendent with both clubs. Thank you, Damián. Listen, our second guest had the opportunity to play in the CONCACAF Champions League with three different teams from MLS. DC United in 09-10, the Portland Timbers in 14-15, and most recently with Sporting Kansas City in the 2019. In total, he played in 13 matches over the course of 3 Champions League editions. Also, at the senior national team level, I should say, he was a member of Costa Rica's 2018 FIFA World Cup squad and, of course, a veteran of CONCACAF Gold Cups and the Copa Centroamericana. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, let's please welcome Rodney Wallace. Good. Rodney Wallace is in the house. Okay, Rodney, since you played in this Champions League, a lot has changed. The tournament has grown. We know that. What has impressed you the most?
For me, it has to be the structure of the leagues independently. The game has grown a lot in each country, in each region, and it's just good to see the growth of the game in each stadium, the atmosphere, and it's a really, really special tournament.
Yeah, and it's starting to really catch that type of fire from a sports aspect. When you look at Seattle and that last championship against Pumas, it's been wonderful. What 2023 participating club are you looking forward? Do you have your eye? And I think I know the answer to that, but I'll still ask.
Liga Deportiva Alajuelense for me. That's my childhood club, so I'm supporting them. I'm obviously always wishing them the best. And that's another club that's built a lot from their infrastructure, and now what they have internally is good. You saw the atmosphere as well in el estadio, so it's going to be a good one. Big
time Tico club, and I've been in Costa Rica for a club game and an international game, and it really is absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Rodney Wallace. Stick around to conduct the draw that will determine the matchups for the round of 16 and each club's path to the final and the FIFA Club World Cup. Please welcome to the stage CONCACAF Director of Competition, Carlos Fernandez.
Thank you, Ramses. Good evening, everyone. Special thanks for those fans watching us from home. Ramses, Damián, Rodney, thank you for being with us here tonight. And to determine this important draw that will determine the matchups and pathway to become CONCACAF champions. To better understand the procedures of tonight's draw, let's watch the following video.
The official draw for the 2023 CONCACAF Champions League will be executed with a double-blind system involving 4 pots, 2 club pots and 2 position pots. The 2 club pots will contain the names of the 16 participating clubs, while the other 2 position pots will contain the 16 possible positions for the participating clubs. The position pots A and B will contain the available positions. Pot A, positions A1 through A8. Pot B, positions B1 through B8. The draw will begin by randomly selecting a club from Pot 2, followed by a position from Pot B. The same process will apply for the remaining 7 clubs in Pot 2, always using the positions in Pot B. Once the position for all the clubs from Pot 2 have been drawn using Pot B, clubs from Pot 1 will be drawn with the same procedure, using Pot A. The draw will be conducted in accordance with Section 12.5.4 of the tournament regulations, which states that clubs from the same member association cannot be drawn against each other in the round of 16. For the round of 16, all the clubs from Pot 1 will host the return matches. The winners from the odd matchup numbers 1, 3, 5, and 7 will host the return leg quarterfinals. For the semifinals, the highest-ranked clubs based on their performance in the round of 16 and quarterfinals will host the return leg matches. For the finals, the highest-ranked club with the inclusion of their performance in the semifinals will host the return leg match.
Well, after that explanation, let's quickly review how the 16 clubs have been divided into pots 1 and 2. Pot 1, we have Vancouver Whitecaps, Atlas, Pachuca, León, Austin FC, LAFC, Orlando City, and Philadelphia Union. In Pot 2, we have Liga Deportiva Alajuelense, Alianza, Violet, Olimpia, Motagua, Real España, Tigres, y Tauro. So with that, Damian, Rodney, are we ready to start with the draw?
Let's go.
Listo.
Okay. Damian, you can help us with the first sphere of Pot 2
Okay.
and officially start tonight's draw.
Alianza.
After a 2-year absence, Alianza returned to the Champions League as one of the top 6 finishers from the 2022 Concacaf League.
Rodney, let's now determine the position of Alianza.
B8.
All right, then let's continue with Pot 2 then. And let's see which is the second club of tonight's draw.
Motagua.
The CSL semifinalists returned to the Champions League for a second straight year and 7th overall.
Ronnie, let's determine the position of Motagua.
B4.
Damian, go back to Pot 2 and let's repeat the process.
Olimpia.
No club has more Champions League appearances than Olimpia. The 2022 CONCACAF League winners will be participating in the tournament for the 13th time.
Ronnie, back to you. And for Olimpia's position in this bracket.
B7.
Damian, back to Pot 2. And the next club in this draw is
Alajuelense.
The Costa Rican side has a rich history in the tournament, earning back-to-back semifinal finishes in the 2013-14 and 2014-15 editions.
Rodney, now let's do the honors for the Costa Rican club. No pressure.
No pressure at all. B6.
Perfect. Damian,
No.
then let's go back to Pot 2. And let's see which club comes after Alajuelense, Olimpia, Motagua, and Alianza.
Real España.
This will be the 2022 CONCACAF League semifinalists' 4th appearance in the Champions League and the first since the 2014-2015 edition.
Ronnie, let's see which position they will follow.
B5.
Damian, back to you. Now we have no more Honduras clubs.
Violet.
The 2022 Caribbean Club Championship champions and winners of the 1984 CONCACAF Champions Cup will be making their debut in the Champions League.
Rodney, back to Pot B to determine their position of Violet. Haitian club.
B1.
Now, Damian, going back to you, and the two remaining clubs is it Tigres or Tauro?
Tigres.
The 2020 Champions League winners are back in the tournament for the 7th time.
Ronnie, let's know now the position for Tigres.
B3.
And now, Damian, back to you to confirm that it's Tauro from Panama.
Tauro.
The 2022 CONCACAF League quarterfinalists will participate in their 7th Champions League. In 2018, they reached the quarterfinals by defeating MLS side FC Dallas in the round of 16.
Now let's confirm that their position is B2, the final sphere of Pot B.
Confirmed. B2.
Correct. And with that, we have the first two pots. Let's jump into the action now to determine the matchups. So, Damian, which is going to be the first club? First matchup of tonight's draw.
Pachuca.
The 5-time CONCACAF champions and 2-time Champions League winners are back in the tournament for the first time since winning the title in 2016-2017.
Rodney, now let's go to Pot A and see who Pachuca will be facing.
A3.
So because of the regulations of the draw, Pachuca cannot be matchup versus Tigres. So you're going to hold that position for now, A3. And please, let's take another sphere from Pot A to see which club will be facing Pachuca.
A4.
So they will be matching up versus Motagua. So now, back to you, Damian. And to determine the position, the club, that is going to be facing Tigres, A3, it's
Orlando City.
This will be the first appearance in the Champions League for the 2022 U.S. Open Cup winners.
Damian, now it's back to you and to see the next club of this draw.
León.
León is back in the Champions League for a 4th straight year and 5th overall. Their best participation was in 2022 when they reached the quarterfinals.
Now to determine the matchup and rival of Club León.
A2.
Against Tauro from Panama. Back to you and Pot 1. Let's see which is our next club of tonight's draw.
Austin.
The Verdes are the 20th different team from the United States to participate in the Champions League.
Now to determine the matchup of Austin FC and the pathway to reach the final starts against
A1.
Violet. Damian, going back to pot 1 now. You can help us and do the honors.
Los Ángeles.
The 2022 MLS Cup and Supporter Shield winners returned to the Champions League for the second time in their history. In their first appearance in 2020, they reached the final.
Now let's do the honors one more time. Well, 4 more times to be precise.
Okay. That time, I have time. A6.
Alajuelense. All right, go back to pot 1 now. 3 remaining spheres, 3 remaining matchups.
Vancouver.
The Whitecaps qualified for the 2023 Champions League after defeating Toronto FC in the 2022 Canadian Championship Final. This will be their second appearance.
I'm back to pot A, so we determine their matchup. First matchup in this Champions League
A5.
versus Real España. Okay, now back to pot 1. 2 remaining clubs. Atlas and Philadelphia Union. Let's see which one is it.
Philadelphia.
The MLS Eastern Conference winners return to the Champions League for the second time in 3 years and will seek to overcome their best participation in 2021, where they reached the semifinals.
And to determine their matchup, and just 2 remaining matchups available, Olimpia or Alianza. Funny who it is.
A8.
Alianza. Okay. Now let's confirm now the final spheres of this pot. So it should be Atlas.
Atlas.
The Guadalajara-based club and back-to-back Liga MX champions will be making their CONCACAF debut.
And let's determine that the last and final sphere of tonight's draw is A7.
A7.
And the matchup versus Club Olimpia. There we have it.
Exciting, exciting. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. So let's review these matchups, please, if that's okay with everyone, because some of these are going to be fantastic. So we're going to get Austin Violet. We're going to get Vancouver Real España, León against Tauro, LAFC against Alajuelense, Orlando City against Tigres, Atlas against Olimpia. What a matchup, those two. Pachuca, Motagua, and the Philadelphia Union will be facing off against Alianza. So let me start with you, Rodney. What match catches your attention? Although, again, I don't think I need to ask you, but they might be facing the MLS champs.
It's just getting better. It's just getting better. Alajuelense, LAFC. I live in California. Now I get to see my team in my home.
And how's Costa Rica going to be rocking when they go over?
It's going to be insane. Both fans are diehard, so
it's going to be fun.
It's going to be a matchup for sure.
Damián, vemos estos cruces y hay partidos muy interesantes. Tu queridísimo Pachuca contra Motagua, Tigres contra Orlando. Ese duelo me parece puede ser el de la muerte, ¿no? ¿Qué opinas?
Pienso que estoy de acuerdo. Son los dos peligrosos, los dos partidos difíciles, pero pienso que con Orlando puede tener un plus.
Well, Damián says they're going to be 2 phenomenal matchups, and he's looking forward particularly to the Tigres-Orlando matchup, which is going to be a fantastic one. Well, Carlos, Damián, and Rodney, thank you so very much for your help today. Of course, Nico Lodeiro as well, that had the beautiful trophy with us. We wish the teams, coaches, players, and fans the best of luck in the tournament that will start in March 2023. For all of the fans, you'll be able to watch all of the action through the Confederation's TV partner networks, including TUDN in the United States, Fox Sports in Mexico, ESPN in Central America and the Caribbean and South America, as well as other local partners. And don't forget to follow the competition's official social media account at The Champions, of course, on Instagram and Twitter for the latest updates, all the scores, and the all access, of course. Ladies and gentlemen, good night and thank you.